So this is definitely going to be a long one, right? I'll try to make it short, but if you're not ready to learn, grow, and possibly scale to 500K plus per year, I want you to exit this video right now because you are probably not in the right state of mind and you don't want it bad enough. So please exit if you don't want it. I'm Luca, I'm a growth consultant slash growth partner, and if you are a coach or course creator in the wealth or self-development niches with an already existing audience size of around about 3 to 4K engaged people, stuck at around about 10K, and you can't really figure out how to scale past that point up to 40, 50K, this is for you. And on the other hand, if you're a consultant in the wealth niches, helping other online businesses to scale, for example, helping agencies or ecom brands with an already existing audience size of at least 5K plus people, and you got some sick ass case studies, you definitely have the potential and the requirements to becoming a successful course creator or online coach fast, right? And grow your income by at least 30 to 40K a month. So in that case, I want you to pay attention closely to what I'm about to drop and what I'm about to explain to you. So I will show you the exact step-by-step process to become the modern day institution as education business, right? And you can straight up walk away and implement what I'm about to show you today. So make sure to watch the video, the entire length from beginning to end, right? And also make sure to have pen and paper, open some document, pick up something to write, and take some notes, right? So, as I said, this is especially for you if you think that there is one system that will finally get you to success, which there isn't. If you're tired of seeing a million ads with done-for-you agencies promising you 30, 40, 50 appointments or your money-back guarantee, giving you no real insight on how to actually, consistently grow your business, right? Which can feed you forever. And if you deep down know that you owe it yourself and only yourself to be great, and if you're tired of hard selling prospects and sending DM after DM, month after month, that to people that didn't raise their hand, right? Also, if you lack focus, if you're constantly jumping from one strategy to another and always feeling like there's something missing, and you feel like you need a step-by-step proven system to follow, and also if you don't have an effective and consistent customer acquisition system that can predictably feed you, your family, and your dreams with certainty. Also, if you struggle with the crazy competitiveness these days in the market, right? Also, if you're egoistic and you try to figure out everything on your own, instead of just learning from a business who has done it before multiple times and has a clear roadmap on how to go about this. Also, if you wasted so much time, your most important resource, time, and you're just sick of wasting more and want to take action immediately, right? Also, if you just want to prove them wrong and be fucking rich, right? So, I want you to be customer obsessed and focus on the most important thing, which is customer results for you, right? So if you do not want to expand your skill set and knowledge and would rather go to work a 9 to 5, or if you don't want to develop the infrastructure and the know-how to stay competitive in these days, then again, I would like you to exit this video right now because you're not in the right place. So let's jump for it. The truth. So the truth these days is that it takes the average coach or consultant at least 3 years to get to the point in the right direction, right? So it takes a lot of experience, a lot of education to be successful at online coaching or consulting. And not only that, right? So in order for all this, what I'm about to show you today, in order for all this to work and to achieve success, you need the whole model, right? This is really, really important. So you need the whole model to achieve the outcome. You need to balance marketing, sales, offer creation, audience building mechanisms, ads, team building, and you need to solve for each with proper and proven systems in order to achieve predictability. And the majority of online education businesses today, they just acquire knowledge from different courses and agencies and somehow bolt them on their business. And this only works for very, very few, as you notice yourself, right? Because it requires so much attention and effort, and because the competition is just huge these days and it's getting bigger and bigger. So That's also why I don't get why all these promising agencies out there only focus on providing one specific service, right? So the online education market, US Coach, the market is sophisticated to sign 10 new clients by creating 30-second videos offers or send 100 TMs to random prospects per day offers. So everyone does that thing. And there's so much more to it if you want to achieve greatness, right? Because this game is hard, right? It takes time. If you value time at all, stop trying to figure out this on your own all the time when there's people out there that literally have done it before and have a roadmap to get there. So you're trying to think for yourself because that's what humans do. That's what we do, right? We're egoistical creatures who think we have all the answers in our hands when we actually do not. Otherwise, you'd be where you want to be, right? So figure out who you can collaborate with and cooperate with the people. And again, if you're not at 7 figures a year, it's because of one of these 8 reasons, right? So, or your niche sucks, or your offer sucks, or your messaging sucks, your foundational copy, or your traffic source, your content sucks, which is the way of generating attention on the different platforms, or your systems suck, right? So you don't get enough eyeballs on your offer, the front end, or you don't have predictable conversion and monetization mechanisms on the back end, right? Or the last thing, your infrastructure sucks, right? So you have no team, you have no delegation, you are no business owner. So then, what are the actual steps to solve for this with certainty in mind? Firstly, you need to target a clearly defined audience with surgeon-like precision. So depending on your background, your experiences, your personality, you need to niche down as much as possible to speak directly to the right people. And you need also an offer. So you need to offer something that your target market actually wants and needs, right? And therefore, you gotta validate your offer and your sales argument. And you should directly communicate with a specific group of people and position yourself as their only choice and provide the best solution for them to sophisticate the market, right? So you need to be better, faster, and much better than anyone else, and your offer should be able to grow and expand easily. Thirdly, you need to create the right messaging based on your target audience, offer, and your own personality, which is your competitive edge, right? Your competitive edge is you for your sales argument, and also for your foundational copy, and for your dynamic sales letter, and for your content, and so on. And you need to communicate with clear empathy and value. This is really, really essential when it comes to messaging. You need to become an influencer in your field, right? You need to develop your own personal brand, which is the pipeline for the attention you get. And you need to be the person that people in your target market turn to for answers to their problems. You should strive to be the top expert in your niche. Learn how to create content that changes beliefs of your audience, content that convinces your viewers of your expertise and what you actually have to offer. And your content should also address any objections or questions that potential customers may have, positioning yourself as the go-to solution. Next up, you need a cost-efficient, predictable, and consistent conversion mechanism by using call to actions, attention-converting sales assets, such as dynamic VSLs and lead magnets, right? And for this to work, you have to drive eyeballs and traffic to these sales assets and resources every hour of the day, and you need to keep them on your channel, right? So the bigger your audience, the more money you make, inevitably. And most importantly, you need a mechanism, a machine which is infinitely leverageable, where you can invest $1 and consistently and predictably turn it into $10. There are 2 options to do so, which I will introduce to you later, right? So you need to be customer and product obsessed, meaning you need to have the best solution possible for your prospects, right? Obviously, allowing that to compound over time as your customers will end up marketing for your service for you. So you can only do that if you automate and probably delegate what is the lifeblood of your business, right? So your customer acquisition structure. And if this isn't constantly flowing, your business dies. So building a superstar growth team is the most important step to scale and convert the attention you get in the end. And do not worry, right? Because we're going to go in depth on each of these steps shortly. So keep watching the ways to market now. So the big platforms are introducing regulations or already have introduced regulations, as you already noticed, that make it difficult to make asymmetric returns like we once were able to make when the platforms like Meta and so on were in their infancy, right? And as with everything else, the cost of ads has gone up by 3x and CPMs are much higher than back in the days of Sam Ovens, making it really difficult for one to fill the pipeline profitably, right? Also, cold outreach and outbound prospecting channels are getting more regulated and difficult to use. For example, LinkedIn and Meta, who are limiting the numbers of connections you can make per day. So right now, you're probably depending on one, maybe two acquisition channels to acquire your customers. You're probably depending on Facebook groups, sending outbound messages or emails, or depending on only organic content, or depending on hiring more VAs to send out more messages on IG and Facebook. Or maybe you're even depending on some done-for-you appointment setting service, right? Or with some money back guarantee to bring in new clients with no clear understanding on how to take a business to multiple six figures. So what you truly need in order to scale to the next level is a consistent flow of people coming to you, not you chasing them, right? So your ideal customer is getting flooded with DMs already. And how can you differentiate yourself and position yourself as the only solution to them, to your prospects? That is what you need to be asking yourself. Always ask yourself the right questions. What is the most highest leverage thing I can do? Which is this, right? Attention. And it is probably the most important thing you're going to take away from this video if you're not already getting attention in your market, right? And what do I mean by attention? I mean, look at Andrew Tate, Alex Hormozy, Grant Cardone, Joe Rogan, Kylie Jenner, Patrick Bet-David, Iman Gadzhi. All these influencers have truly mastered the art of grabbing attention and understanding its immense value in today's economy, right? So they have embraced the same approach that I'm about to share with you. And content is key to capturing attention in 2023. And attention is what leads to incredible profits. So people buy into people, not into offers and their services and their programs and whatever. They buy into you, into the people, and into their worldview and their minds. Because people hate being sold on a stupid service, right? And that's why attention is the new currency. Attention is the economy we're living in today. But if you don't have a good organic presence and strong personal brand in the industry showcasing your life and your identity, that will make it infinitely harder to exploit any other traffic channel or conversion strategy in the end, right? So people only buy from people who they know, like, and trust. So it's all about building a personal brand and connecting with your audience. Just like Elon Musk, for example. Look at him. He just can influence the purchasing decision of countless people with one single tweet. So the same also goes for all the other influencers I mentioned earlier. So if your target market doesn't know you and who you are, and if they haven't invested time with you prior to getting into any sales conversation with you, you can't sell anything, let alone high-ticket services, right? So you need to maintain the bigger amount of real estate in your market's brain than your competitors. And that's the only way you're gonna win nowadays, especially also for mass market offers, right? So if you just think about it, no one in their right state of mind will spend 5K or even 10K or more with someone that they don't know, like, and trust. And they don't believe in, right? And don't see them as an authority. Think about it. All the people you have bought before from had a big influence and amount of real estate in your head prior to you buying. So everyone sold to you using organic content. So if you actually want to win in this game, you need systems in place that allows this process of gaining attention to function efficiently, which will result in a predictable and consistent outcome, which is dealful. So if you're not at the top of your market just yet and you're selling mass market offers, you need more eyeballs. And you need them fast, right? So you need to grow your audience of prospects who want and need your service. And you need those eyeballs day in and day out, consistently. And then also an effective and cost-efficient conversion mechanism, right? To unlock unlimited returns. And after you have unlocked unlimited returns, you can also start accelerating your growth even further by traffic methods, pumping more people into your well-oiled and efficient conversion mechanism. So Yeah, but the clock is ticking, right? So the current state is getting worse and the market will be exponentially harder to dominate even just a few months down the line. So now let's go over how you can use this 6-step process, which I'm about to show you, to add 500k plus in new yearly revenue to your business and skip the trial and error and hard-earned money down the drain. So firstly, the offer. You need to create and to craft an offer that sells itself. So the biggest thing you need to understand is that you must build an offer through the eyes of the customer, right? Meaning you need to give the market what it actually wants and not what you want. So stop making any assumptions on what you think the market wants, right? 90% of the market is pushing useless offers that don't create much value. So if you're experiencing any resistance pitching your offer, people don't resonate with your offer and don't know what you're selling. And that means that your offer definitely sucks. So in terms of creating your offer, to know what your target market actually wants and not randomly guess or copy competitors, you need to do market research, right? So spray and spray doesn't work. One way to do this, and how we always do it, is scheduling free consultations with your target market, which then create an endless feedback loop, right? So run these free consults as discovery calls and find out what is your prospect's goal, what is the end result they desire, when do they want to buy, and what have they tried in the past but failed, which is then the objections and other pain points, right? So if you don't have an audience, go on YouTube also and search for comments or search for sales assets of your respective niche. That's also something you can do, right? To find out what your market actually wants and to get it from them. Because YouTube, in case you didn't know, is the second biggest search engine after Google. And you can also use maybe outbound prospecting methods and mechanisms to ask your target market directly, right? And depending on the market you're in, that might not be enough, right? So if you're, for example, in fitness, the market is sophisticated. So you also got to identify and manipulate the stages of awareness and sophistication of your market, right? But that's not quite important because the market is always dynamic, right? Such as your product. So it needs to constantly evolve. So write a step-by-step protocol and how your target market will achieve the promise and then iterate it based on your customers' feedback. That's the way to go. And if the claim is resonating, there must be a technology that is available to fulfill the promise, right? And really important also, your offer must always solve and optimize for sustainability. And what do I mean by that? So your offer needs to be solving for everlasting success. And you do that by increasing your customer retention. And you do that by solving for constraints with your offer, right? So most of you and most of the people, they're just solving for one specific thing. In other words, you're just a fucking commodity, right? You need to decommoditize yourself so you can sell your product or service based on value and not based on price. So selling based on price is a really, really fast race to the bottom because you're allowing for someone else to swoop in and offer exactly what you're offering for a cheaper price, right? So solving for constraints allows you to predict future customer needs and be able to build products and services around them. And when offering a solution to a problem your avatar is facing, in most cases, it creates another problem that then also you can solve, right? Quick example. That's also why we here at OnYourAudience.io not only solve your offer positioning, getting a crystal clear message and determining an exact avatar. So we also teach you exactly how to come up with topics and identify the biggest pain points your clients have so you can create content that ranks and that people want to watch. We then also pair you with an editor, right, to increase the quality of your content. We then teach you how to create long form and short form and sales assets that shift beliefs, nurture prospects. We then also give you the exact step-by-step framework on how to create viral dynamic sales letters and to sell people on your service, right? Even before they decide to book a call with you. Then we also give you frameworks on how to create lead magnets and build them together with you. And OnYourAudience.io also builds a whole community for you to own the user on your own platform, right? In order to bring more eyeballs to your offer and to your value assets. The offer also builds out mechanisms to funnel the most amount of attention to the community then, right? Because a community without members doesn't help anything. It also runs viral dynamic ads to bring more eyeballs to your offer and sales assets, right? And it also teaches you how to run the ads afterwards, how you can set up your ads manager and run the funnel. In the beginning, we obviously will do this for you, right? It's all done for you. And now that you then have a lead problem, which is a good problem but still a problem, we will place trained growth specialists and generally a trained growth team on commission only in your DMs, in your community, on Instagram, to not only manage and convert all the inbound leads into appointments, but who are also trained to reach out to prospects in your space, to share your sales assets and educate a new audience on how amazing you are, and to get more eyeballs on your offer again, right? And we then teach you how to close 90% of the people you get on a call with, because we solve their problem for in-house sales training, right? And once you become the bottleneck, we remove you from selling by placing a closer on commission to handle all of your sales calls, so you can focus only on the vision, etc., etc. So this was just an example solving us for constraints for our customers. And now we can sell purely on value and not on price, right? Secondly, niche. So you need to pick the right market, meaning you need to be solving for the biggest pain points and make that crystal clear in your message. You need to pick an avatar that can afford a high ticket price point, and you need to pick an audience that is easy to target, and lastly, pick a market and industry that is growing. So without a precise understanding of your exact avatar, including their specific demographics, and scaling at rapid rates will be challenging. So many coaches and consultants struggle because they just lack clarity regarding their target audience. And there are always 3 tiers of audiences where you can differ between them, right? So top, mid, and low. And the top tier has a really, really small audience, but boasts higher conversion rates and a strong motivation, right? Because of the little size of the audience. The mid-tier audience is larger, but it requires more convincing, resulting in average conversion rates. And then low-tier audiences are extensive, but their conversion rates are low, right? Due to the broad nature. And you should focus on top tier, aiming for precision and niche targeting before expanding your audience, especially in the beginning. However, many of you might be trapped in the belief that broadening your reach leads to more profits, which in reality the opposite is true, right? So keep that in mind always. Third step, messaging and foundational copy. So after having done market research, having validated your sales argument, having sophisticated the market by creating the best offer, having niched down almost uncomfortably narrow to target the right audience with surgeon-like precision, and after having written a step-by-step protocol to achieve your promise, you communicate it through assembling the dynamic sales letter. So if you skip this step or don't do it properly, you will have trouble with creating other sales assets, ideation and creating banger content, onboarding growth specialists, sales reps, and operations, and also communicating your offer in sales conversations, right? So this is really essential. And what I forgot, also potential customers will probably not understand the real value of your offer, right? So the sales letter is the foundation of your business. It's your standard operating procedure. And it's your sales script and sales training, it's the feedback loop, it's the ad, it's the short and long form content, and it's the outbound message. It's everything. So it's also dynamic, right? Because it's constantly evolving as the market and the product and the protocol evolve. And that's also why it's the highest leverage in your business, right? And your messaging needs to be crystal clear. Your target customer wants to go from point A to point B, right? And your job is to convince them that the vehicle you provide is what's going to bring them there. You want to have a before and after state. You want to widen the gap with your messaging, right? And then you want to present your service as the only one that will help them to actually bridge that gap, right? So you need to use the same vocabulary and language they use to describe their pains and problems, which will effectively place you as their only go-to solution and view you as an authority. And this then also tests into being as niche as possible for as long as possible. So your message to your audience needs to stick. And really important, sell the outcome, right? Sell the result and the benefit of using your vehicle, not the process it takes to get there. Because most of our decisions are emotionally driven as humans. And you want to trick the brain into feeling like you're already experiencing the benefits, right? So always include second and third order consequences when describing a problem, when describing a solution, to make people feel that emotion, right? Fourthly, you need to become an influencer in your space to maintain a space of real estate in your prospect minds. So just imagine, quick analogy. You buy an undervalued property, occupy it with tenants, and build equity over time. Your content is the same. It never leaves, right? It feeds you every day, it compounds over time, it builds equity. So only with that you stay ahead of the game and give yourself an edge that nobody can have over you. And if you're not already doing this, you must create and distribute sales assets to garner as much attention as humanly possible to create a huge traffic source, right? So people won't just buy you because of your offer and won't just buy your offer because it's a good offer. They buy because they like your worldview, right? They like your perspective, they like your life, as I already said. They buy you, they buy your personal brand, and this will get you free traffic, change beliefs, and maintain a space in the prospect's brain. So your messaging obviously is the foundation of the step. And nextly, for infinite content ideas, research the current market trends, right? So look at big influencers, look what they are posting, look at the data, and pair them with your sales arguments from your sales letter. And also add some controversy and so on, right, to achieve viral effects. But you want to create both short and long form pieces, right? Because we live in an attention economy, and no one will watch your 30-minute plus videos if they don't know who you actually are and if they weren't seeing you and engaging with you before. So you have to get them in your ecosystem first through short form content and tweets, and only then will they be willing and able to consume your longer content stuff, right? And also, it's much easier to achieve viral effects through short form pieces. So that is going to be your traffic source for the most part. Also, edit them to optimize for views retention and distribute them across all platforms. Then your long form content is the most powerful type of content, since, right, the prospect is spending a lot of time with you when watching it. So your content is your messaging and your marketing. And your YouTube channel is a hub for marketing assets. So if you can get new eyeballs there every single day, you will win, definitely. And if you didn't know, on average, someone needs to spend 7 hours with you before they actually buy your product, right? So that's also why cold traffic is infinitely harder to close than warm traffic. And you are bridging the 7 hours gap. You're providing value, you're instilling certain beliefs they need to have in order to buy, and you're all in all building know, like, and trust factor by putting out long form content stuff. And you just need to figure out how to get those eyeballs to the content, which will be covered in the next step, and how to create content that educates your audience and organically attracts new eyeballs on its own, what we already kind of discussed, right? So you can then also optimize your titles for SEO organic traffic, edit them for views retention, optimize your thumbnails for click-through rates. If you have mass market offers, right, that's also additional stuff for you. But essentially, your content needs to do 3 things, right? So your content needs to showcase you as a person and needs to showcase your personality. Secondly, it needs to shift the beliefs of your viewers to think like you, to switch their mindset, right? Thirdly, it needs to educate your viewers on your value and promote your service with actionable steps to help your prospects overcome the pains that you solve for in your offer, right? And you need to get the prospect to know, like, and trust you. And this will induce reciprocity biases. Quickly, so these are the most leverageable platforms we always use. Firstly, Instagram. So you need to leverage IG as the platform to nurture prospects as your home base, right? At all costs. So do this by posting stories every single day, all day. Share clients' wins. Share what's going on behind the scenes. Share your life, right? And make posts of pictures and videos of you and share value through Reels. And what is really important, and what many people in this attention economy do not get, do not just flood your IG with Reels, because people are just gonna look at your page and know that you're already trying to sell them, right? So showcase your life. People buy more into people than they do actually into their business, as I already said, right? Showcase your life, have different content topics, don't only flood it with IG Reels. YouTube. So you need to leverage YouTube as the platform to shift beliefs and do your selling practically, right? So handle objections, answer the most common questions clients have, and give your viewers actionable steps on how they can overcome all their pain points, right? That's the main point of YouTube. You want to host your sales assets that sell the prospect on you and your mission and the product on YouTube. I mean, by now, this should be obvious, but as I already said, share behind the scenes what your life is like, right? If you buy a new car, if you buy a new penthouse, whatever it is, share it with your audience, everything, right? Next, Twitter. So you need to leverage Twitter as a further platform to nurture prospects, right? So Twitter is not just a platform for shitty, irrelevant discussions, but actually there's a huge community on it called Money Twitter that focuses on sharing huge pieces of business relevant value actually, right? And you can contribute to that. So you can repurpose your short form videos as tweets and threads, or also use Twitter as a blog to publish your ideas, or and whatever tweets get the most amount of resonance and attention can then possibly be converted into short form or long form content videos, right? That's the mechanism that Alex Hormozi uses for his Twitter. So especially if you're in the wealth niches and you're not using Twitter right now, you're missing out on a huge trend, right? So I urge you to go and get on Twitter and build an audience on Twitter, right? And furthermore, you can also repurpose the content for an email list and promote the email list across all platforms then. So emails is also just another piece of content with which you can also hyper target different audiences, right? So for example, for people with different offers, high and low ticket, they can target the one group wanting to sell them on the low ticket offer and the other group wanting to upsell them on a high ticket offer, for example, right? So give yourself a competitive edge, which is you and only you and your personality. So nobody can be you. This is the competitive edge you have over everyone. And if you can get someone to pay attention to you and give them your time, their most valuable asset in the world, they will throw any money at you. I can guarantee this to you, right? So let's proceed with the next step, right? Step 5, predictable and cost-efficient conversion monetization mechanisms, right? So it's systems, basically about systems, front-end and back-end systems. So you need systems and processes in place to convert attention into money. And the systems need to be scalable, extremely cost-efficient, durable, and predictable, right? And these systems that are you making money ultimately are call to actions at the end of your sales assets, right? Of your video sales assets. Attention converting sales assets, dynamic video sales letters, lead magnets, conversation workflows, right? That your growth specialists guide. More to that later. But before diving deep into these converting mechanisms, right? You firstly need mechanisms to actually bring new eyeballs to your sales assets, right? Which sell the prospect, and therefore new eyeballs to your offer constantly, in order that more trust is built and the mechanisms above, all the mechanisms I described above, actually work. So at onyouraudience.io, we look at front-end marketing to carry two main purposes, right? So firstly, building rapport and establishing authority. And secondly, most importantly, getting leads into the ecosystem or the community where they then sold and can be nurtured over time, right? And then sold over on the offer on the respective one. And like I said earlier, get out of the Facebook groups and stop depending solely on organic marketing to take your business to high 6-figure run rates or 7 figures. So you need an omnichannel approach by combining the previous step with this step. And the most predictable system right now is not Facebook groups. It's also not depending on 300 to 500 DMs per day, hiring 10 new VAs. It's not depending on organic solely and content and the algorithms to acquire new customers. And it's not solely spending thousands on boring ads, and it's definitely also not throwing money at done-for-you agencies, right? Promising you 50 or more appointments a month or your money back. And I'm not telling you that you need to stop doing all of these things, right? Maybe apart from the done-for-you agencies. But what I'm saying is that you cannot depend on these marketing channels to scale to 7 figures or high 6 figures, right? You need something that you can depend on, something that is durable, cost-efficient, and predictable, and battle-tested, which is all these mechanisms together, right? So I like to repeat myself again. You need the whole model, and this model changes also based on whether you're an influencer in the wealth niches, in the self-development niches, if you're a consultant with experience helping people scale their businesses, right? Also depending on the respective product you're teaching other people you're selling, if it's high or low ticket, But you need all these systems in order to scale predictably. And any purchasing decision is an evolutionary process, okay? We always look at purchasing decisions like this. It's always a hierarchy of effects that need to happen in order to move the prospect from the awareness stage to the purchase stage, right? Or the other way around, if the funnel begins here, right? Awareness to purchase. So obviously you always start with awareness, and we do that always through information, right? So if a person you're trying to sell isn't aware of the problem or the solution you're referencing to, then regardless of how important your solution actually is, you won't be able to persuade your market to take action. And this goes back to the 5 stages of market awareness by Eugene Schwartz. That's a topic for another day, but it always comes down to this in the beginning, right? Awareness. Do your prospects and your targeting niche, do they know exactly what your problem is? Do they know how valuable your offer could be to them? The next step in this hierarchy of effects would be consideration, right? So consideration influences a buying decision. It's the prospect's attitude towards your service and their conviction. So does your messaging actually resonate? Do they want to buy, right? They know they have a problem, but now the thing is, your messaging needs to sell them, okay? So they need to be convinced of your authority and of your ability to be able to help them. And the next stage is buying them, right? And to get to the buying stage, as I already said, the prospect has to be convinced 100% of your service by spending time with you, by building trust, yeah, right? So you make them spending more time with you by owning them in a community or by showing them your content with ads, right? So show them your offer constantly and nurture them. And there are 2 optimized systems we use, and you should also use, to bring new eyeballs to your offer, okay? So the first one is especially for low ticket offers, but also for upselling on high ticket offers afterwards, right? On mentorships and whatever it is, which is called the viral community strategy, right? So you need to own your audience, right? So the most amount of trust is built by having your own platform for you and your prospects, and which is a community, right? And with your free community, you can directly communicate with your prospects and overwhelm them with value in one place. And you always need to have a free community, right? And funnel the attention you get from the other platforms to your group, right? Which can be hosted on Facebook, Discord, School, and then upsell the prospects to your low ticket or high ticket offer within the group, aka their eyeballs are on more of your sales assets and ultimately on your offer, which sells them up automatically. So communities are still really, really underrated and really unheard of in the education space, right? Especially when it comes to consultants who have a great ability in helping other people, and you can actually scale further by teaching other people what they learned through their case studies and building a community, a subscription offer, right? But that's also something for another day. But people want to be educated, and before all, they want to connect with like-minded people, and that's what a community is for, right? They want to cooperate and collaborate with others in their same situation. So this is a quick funnel, really simplified, that we use for upselling within the structure and the mechanisms of a community. So firstly, you need to funnel the most amount of attention to the group with profile funnels and with outbound mechanisms, right? You need to bring these people and these eyeballs on your offer in your community with outbound mechanisms also. And then they qualify, they answer some questions, they enter your group, and then to upsell them on your low and high ticket community, you need to have multiple touch points with the prospect, obviously, right? You need combos in the DMs, and we'll get to that soon. You need case studies, you need to share case studies, you need to share free value, you need to hold group calls, and also your newsletter helps. So that's one way of upselling, right? From low to high ticket, and also from free to low ticket. And another option is always to use ads, right? To use your content as ads and retarget the people from your community with these ads, right? To give them the call to action to actually make the decision, right? To purchase from you. And this brings us to our second mechanism, right? Which is the viral ad strategy, especially efficient for high ticket services, right? So if you cannot sell high ticket, this is what will solve your problem, right? So with more sophisticated buyers, you want to target people one-on-one, right? And that's why you have to focus heavily on viral dynamic ads to target the right people with surgeon-like precision. And this strategy funnels the people from the ads to your DMs, right? And in order to do that, you firstly need data. So the ads always come at the end of scaling a platform vertically. You need data, you need to see what works, you get that feedbacking loop, you get that proof of concept, and then you use the ads to scale to the moon, right? And ads generally do not have to be expensive, right? So forget whatever misconception you have about ads and funnels being expensive to run, right? About all these people propagating all the time ads are expensive, you need to make content, right? Yeah, you need to make content, but in order to scale predictably, you also need to run ads, right? That's what literally separates you from the other people. You need everything. And you can literally scale fast off of $10 per day, which is less than one VA will cost you. Send 150 messages all day, every day to people who do not want what you have to sell anyways, right? So if you do not believe me, join our partner program and we will show you how to do this and then do it done for you. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the old way, expensive and inconsistent way of running ads, which requires a too high commitment from the prospect. You basically have an ad which is at the awareness stage, people do not know you yet, and this ad has a hard call to action to book a call. Okay, cold, just like that, which tries to funnel you to some landing page and book a call. That's it. And from this ad, as you probably noticed, no one will book a call, right? Because the distance between awareness and purchase, as I described before, is so big, people are not convinced of you and your service. So right now, what I'm going to present to you is an extremely cost-efficient mechanism that, grows your audience and of niche-specific people. Because both campaigns are far too expensive, okay, and really, really less efficient. So you need to use this. And also using our avatar determining sheet, you can basically decide on which exact customer to target. And this is, very scalable and predictable, as I said. So the new way is, at the awareness stage, you're just collecting a custom list of a cold audience, right? Leveraging our avatar determining sheet. And then you launch an ad and with a soft call to action to your Instagram, right? And this is a really low commitment ask. You want to ask people to follow you to get more insights. Then you get data, right? You see how long did the people watch this video through and so on. You retarget these people with another ad, with a soft call to action again, right? To your insanely high converting video sales letter on YouTube, which is again a low commitment ask. Then they watch your content. They consume 7 hours of content of your face. Then you retarget them again with an ad, right? And right now with a harder call to actions to a new warmer audience, right? And you want to funnel these people from the ad to the DM to book a call where they then get converted in conversations by growth specialists, right? And this is then the high commitment ask, but the distance between awareness and purchase is being bridged by your content, which the prospects see. And if they forget to watch your content, they get reminded by an ad, right? And they again look at your content, watch your content, and get convinced. That's it. And what the ad normally looks like is, it's just a viral organic post, a reel, with the ideal messaging and call to action, plus an ad like you know it. So firstly, you gotta find out what type of content resonates with your audience, right? And the piece of content identifies the current state and the desired state, and it bridges this huge gap, right? It widens the gap of why they are at their dream stage and presents your offer as the ultimate solution. That's what it looks like. Furthermore, this ad is always also really niche specific, right? So that's the basic outline of the funnel, how this works. But concerning on your offer, on your niche, this also can vary, right? On how many retargeting ads you have and some specifics, but that's the basic outline. And Here, two further mechanisms, for example, to funnel more attention on your offer is also newsletter, as I already said, content, and a growth team with outbound prospecting mechanisms, right? Which is especially important in the beginning when you do not have data, when you do not have case studies. You have to start with outbound prospecting, right? In the beginning to get these eyeballs in your offer, and as soon as you have people in your ecosystem, you have the whole thing running. Then you can start with the other with ads and the other stuff, right? Okay, but now to this last point, the growth team, right? In order for all these systems in the previous step to work, your growth team infrastructure plays an essential role. So the most important thing, create an infrastructure that can handle scale, so you can focus on being a founder and business owner, which means focus heavily and only on customer success and delegate the rest. So now that you've dialed in your lead flow with the community and viral dynamic ads, and you're getting inbound leads daily while growing your audience fast, you can now start automating and delegating the actual money-making part. So you can be a founder and service your clients, right? So as a founder, you can't just be stuck in the trenches and do draining tasks like appointment setting that make you give up on your vision insanely fast, because nothing's more draining than writing with 10,000 people a day, right? So don't be the master and the slave to your business. Focus on vision, gaining attention, delegating the roles to individuals who are better than you, and translate your vision to them effectively. Build better teams. Observe and study trends, not competitors. Think long term. Make better decisions with all this, and just build the best product the world has ever seen, right? So the first thing you need to do is delegate the appointment setting, right? So you need to remove yourself from the end, high growth specialists, which are leveraged versions of yourself, productized business owners who understand your offer and your target customer on commission, whose sole job is to reach out to the prospects, educate them, funnel their eyeballs onto your offer, to get them on a meeting with you, or to funnel the attention and the eyeballs of the cold prospects to your community and your content, and therefore your offer, by leveraging outbound prospecting mechanisms also. So, right, they do this by following conversational workflows, these growth specialists. So that's basically what we teach our growth specialists, which include leveraging sales assets that educate the respective prospect purely on what they're struggling with. So the exact thing they're struggling with, we ask them about their inefficiency, and we're getting back to them and presenting them the exact solution to their exact problem, right? That's also the reason, or a reason, why you need to create content that answers the most common objections and pain points for your avatar, and leverage these assets in the DMs, not only to educate, but to get the prospect into your ecosystem. So the next thing you'll do is remove yourself then from being on the phone and selling. So there are many individuals who focus purely on closing and sales, and they're really happy to getting paid on a commission basis, right? So basically these 7 steps, this is the exact blueprint you need to follow, right? To scale to minimum 500K per year. Implement this and you will succeed, guaranteed. Now, when it comes to scaling, right? Once acquisition has been solved and you have an influx of leads, you need also an infrastructure that can handle scale. How do you solve this? So, firstly, I don't want to dive too deep into this today, but scaling fulfillment, if you're doing traditional one-on-one coaching, you can also transition into leverage group coaching or unsynchronized leverage one-on-one coaching. And basically in leverage group coaching, you have your clients follow up a step-by-step protocol that you have built with video or written word, and they have 3+ support calls per week where they can hop on and ask questions and fix obstacles they find along the way, right? This has, the benefits of being easy to set up and to fulfill on a big scale, but also many downsides that come with it, right? So it's not high perceived value, and therefore you can't really charge high ticket, right? And furthermore, all these prospects probably won't share all their prospects publicly, right? Then in unsynchronized leverage one-on-one coaching, you have your clients follow a step-by-step protocol and then give them your direct contact and give them everyday support, right? So schedule one-on-one calls and help them if there's a problem. And the other way around, this is less scalable. It's a bit trickier to set up, but perceived value is higher and you can charge higher. Then scaling sales. So the truth is that the time of big sales teams and high pressure sales is over, right? So most of The selling is done through long-form content and sales assets, such as your lead magnets, your dynamic VSLs, your customer testimonials and case studies, and also interviews, and your YouTube content. And prospects will just show up ready to buy after having watched it, right? That's basically the conclusion of the whole video today. So you just need someone to collect the cash and sometimes read the pitch from your sales letter. So you can give your seller, for example, the opportunity to take triage calls. And it's just a 15-minute discovery call where you audit the prospect situation by creating a before and after state with them together and see if they're qualified actually, right? If they have enough money to pay, if they're the right targeting audience, and then you'll invite them on a sales call and close them, okay? Then scaling marketing, all these processes we discussed today to this point get you the most important resource we have in marketing in the attention economy these days, which is data. So to laser target your ideal prospect even more effectively, you need data. And once you've also validated that your fulfillment brings results and your sales can handle it, you can scale up your marketing vertically with more ads and also horizontally on more channels and more platforms because you know exactly what works and what doesn't, right? So, conclusion. Truth be told, this is all really simple. So most of you watching this have been so overwhelmed by the amount of people online telling you to do different things, that there is the new channel or the new mechanism to acquire clients and book 20 appointments a day. Stick with the basics, simple scales. You need acquisition channels that are battle tested, right? So ads work, content works, reaching out to people who you know actually want and need your service works, right? And no, these mechanisms do not have to be expensive at all. Every person you look up to online are all running the same systems to scale their businesses, right? Which are all these systems I presented to you today, and which is content, ads, and really strong funnels, right? That can consistently pay for your career GT and your penthouse in future. So if you actually want to win in this game, you need systems in place that allows this process of gaining attention to function efficiently, which will result in a predictable and consistent outcome, meaning deal flow. Okay? So we build on your audience.io because of the amount of bullshit we see online today. And it's not hard to put yourself out there and get new eyeballs for your offer, right? So people are just coming out with these new mechanisms or new multidimensional methods that leverage the power of artificial intelligence, blockchain, virtual reality, and neurocognitive algorithms and whatever it is they preach to you. So every online influencer or coach doing at least 1 million per month or per year all got there because of these 7 simple things that you're probably like one of at least. Having a really strong offer position perfectly and an amazing service so that clients can market it for them. A clear and narrow target audience. Messaging and content that shifts beliefs and showcases a high level of authority, right? A personal brand, and no, I don't mean flooding your Instagram with threes. Directly selling to your audience every time you open your fucking mouth. An extremely cost-efficient and scalable acquisition mechanism, right? Community building, paid advertising, the right funnels at the right time, and a strong team on the back end. And altogether, this leads to data. So that is also why we created a service that gives you access to a community to connect with other coaches and consultants, right? To work together, to collaborate, to make the whole system work together, right? So join our free community. That's also why we created a service that audits your current position and points you immediately in the right direction to conquer the next stage on your service to multiple 6 figures, right? That audits also your personality, experiences, your background to speak directly to a very specific and narrow audience and targeting niche that will be of much higher quality and therefore be willing to able way higher fees, right? A service that also creates and reshapes your irresistible offers, high and low ticket, based on an infinite feedbacking loop that sell itself based on what the market wants. A service that crafts a messaging based on the market feedback loop and that also speaks directly to your customer avatar. A service that implements the infrastructure in your business to create high quality and extremely high converting sales assets that sell and educate your prospect before they even get on a call, right? So implementing, creating implementing and creating dynamic sales letters, short-form content, long-form content on the specific platforms based on market research, objections, and market trends. Also, a service that has a team of highly trained editors that edit whatever you want and need in-house, right? Long-form and short-form content. A service that optimizes and creates profiles to drive curiosity and focus on building a personal brand that people want to buy into. Also a service that implements systems that generate more attention and eyeballs for your belief-shifting sales assets, right? Which are community building systems, implementing a group build, group growth, a newsletter, group nurturing funnels with lead magnets, right? Community managers and call to actions, all done for you by us. A system also and a service that creates ad systems, right? So we show you exactly how we are running the systems so you fully understand it, how this works with the ads. We track your ads daily and optimize when we need to. We run the funnel on your behalf so you can focus on being a founder. And also a service that automates your customer acquisition machine and delegates key roles within your business for you, such as placing a commission-only GS in the backend systems and DMs to reach out to new eyeballs and get more attention, qualify them, and get them on a call with you, hiring a closer, delegating customer success, etc., to have a consistent deal flow, right? And which ultimately gives you the possibility to be customer and product obsessed. So now we have three options, right? So firstly, take the step-by-step blueprint I gave you today and immediately take action on this, right? So and I guarantee you with this doc, you can print similar results, right? And steal some of the market share. However, this system is very, very complex and it requires time and various skill sets, right? And also management that a coach actually shouldn't do. Secondly, you can wait also an undetermined amount of time to achieve the results you've been dreaming of, or potentially never see those desired results at all because you don't take action, right? Because you're paralyzed and you can't take action at all. And that's also why you need to stop aiming for 10K per month, right? And start aiming higher for 500K, 100K. And achieving these large numbers requires a leveraged, focused mindset, right? And what you learned today is the key for coaches and consultants to dominate the online industry in 2023 and beyond. And it may not have been that mind-blowing for you, but that is intentional, right? Because simple strategies are the ones that scale. And the third mechanism is skip through trial and error and take a fast track to success, right? By partnering up with OnYourAudience.io as we implement the discussed mechanism for you and with you in 2 weeks. So if you are ready to start working on your business rather than in it and be a real founder, if you're tired of sending DM after DM to people who never raised their hands, if you're tired of sitting in Facebook groups and hiring and finding VAs all the time, if you want to stop getting overwhelmed and frustrated from all the noise out there and from staying stagnant and would rather gain a newfound sense of confidence in your ability to create success, and if you want to stop worrying about inconsistent income streams and instability and would rather live a life in freedom, if you're also tired of battling with the constant self-doubt and imposter syndrome because you're so occupied questioning your ability to succeed in the field and would rather have a unshakable belief in yourself. If you want to scale your business rapidly to 50K per month and beyond, right? If you want to charge premium prices and attract high value clients. Also, if you want to experience time freedom and location freedom. And if you want to have an impact and leave a legacy in your field. Then please take action on what we actually covered today, right? So I know this video was free to all of you, and you may not take it as seriously as you should because of this, but please try, okay? And if you want to avoid figuring out all of this on your own and would rather do this together and partnering up on this, then join our team and shoot me a DM with the word audience so you can join the waitlist, right? So I'll leave my link to my Instagram down below the video. And remember, this is your responsibility and duty to be great, right? So thank you for taking the time to watch this. I'm fully aware of your time and that you spend your time here. So thank you for spending it here. And if you found this valuable, subscribe to my channel because I won't be holding anything back. I will be dropping some real bangers next weeks. And yeah, it is your responsibility to unleash your true potential. And with that, thank you for watching, spending an hour with me. See you in the next one.